How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to talk about the Necromancer a little bit, go over some of the details of the class, just explain some of its abilities, the options it has, what you can do with it. So this is just kind of a, new player video, I guess, or an introduction to the class, just, like I said, going over the basics. So the Necromancer is a late game class for the most part. The earliest you can get it is Chapter 3. I believe it's during the Zabos boss fight. I could be 100% wrong with that. But it is in Chapter 3 during a major boss fight. You will see it. You will, if you look at the unit roster, you will see a Necromancer in the group of enemies. The main issue is it can be a little bit of a problem trying to get it, because you're going to have to get wailed on a while, trying to, let it live, get it low, take out everything else. You still got the boss messing with you. So it is a little bit of, a struggle to a degree, but it's totally doable. And it's the earliest you can get a Necromancer is Chapter 3. After that, the best place you're going to find Necromancers is in the Palace of the Dead, which, that's more going to be a Chapter 4 kind of thing, early Chapter 4, or any time in Chapter 4 kind of ordeal. So what makes a Necromancer cool? What makes it neat? Why do you want it? What's the most useful thing for it? Well, right off the bat, I'm just going to say, it allows you to recruit skeletons and recruit the ghosts. So if you want skeletons in your army and you want ghosts in your army, this is the way to go, because this is how you do it. But let's start from the beginning. So it gets access to daggers, cudgels, and hammers, which, you're going to pick what you like here, but honestly, cudgels are probably going to what you're going to want. And you're going to want a cudgel. Now, this one isn't ideal, but it's got this unit relatively recently, so they're not really kitted out. Spell range 2, I can get a better one. I can get spell range 3, but I'm stuck in the Palace of the Dead right now, and I don't really have a replacement, and I'm not leaving to go buy a staff. So do keep in mind that a cudgel is probably the best, like I said, because of the range of your spells being increased. And then, the gear is kind of whatever the best wizard-like gear you can have. Obviously, you want a good ring. I don't think Ring of Vitality would be ideal for him, but, that's just what he came with. So yeah, this is a freshly recruited one, got it a few days ago, played quite a few battles with it, but just haven't been able to do much. Now, as far as items go, whatever, you want to do with items, but get back into this here, we got MP+, no HP+, so unfortunately one of the major drawbacks I find of the Necromancer is how squishy they are. They have a very low HP pool, very, very low. Unless I just got a bad unit with bad stats, which could be very possible. This could be just a low roll, like one I found out in the wild, just a bad Pokemon I caught, Got a bad Pokemon out in the wild, we need a new one. Resist Petrify, Resist Charm. I never used these in my life. So now we get into the good stuff. So we got Concentration, which, it's alright, it's good. Engulf will increase the range of your spells, which is super good, especially if you're being an offensive spellcaster. Concentration is good, but I don't know, I just don't feel like you need it at this point in the game. Meditate. Obviously, Meditate, key for any kind of caster. He can Meditate 4, we couldn't ask for much more than that. So definitely a staple. It needs to be on your Necromancer at all times, so that way you always have MP to do what you gotta do. Then we have Condemn, which is prohibit resurrection via magic or items, remains in effect across the battlefield until negated. This can be very useful to avoid units coming back to life. Just as good as Consecrate Dead, which prevents stilled units from being revived. You only really need one of these. I mean, I would just use Consecrate Dead. This is kind of a little more, how do I say it? A little more fancy, I guess, way of doing it. But I don't know. Gotta pick one or the other, so I prefer Consecrate. Consecrate Dead for me, personally. It just works. Then we got Animate Dead, instantly revive stilled units. So, if you're running one of those cool undead armies, which I highly recommend, I plan on creating my own eventually. This is great to bring them right back up instead of having to wait 3 turns, because obviously you can't use a Blessing Stone on them. And then, obviously, we got the Recruit, the Phantom, which are the skeletons and the ghosties you see running around. So, great to bolster your army a little bit, get a couple more options. Has some great, skills here and there, very, very what you would expect. Now, that's not the best part. The best part is the access of spells that the Necromancer gets. The Necromancer gets access to what we call Grimoires. Well, you're going to need Grimoires to get some of their spells. So there's a lot of them you can buy from the shops in the Palace of the Dead. to enhance the spell repertoire of the Necromancer. Unfortunately, I don't have any to show you right now. Like I said, I haven't got to the shop. This is a little fresh boy. He had some on him when I recruited him, but the game's like, no, 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 you don't have those. We're taking those away. So he doesn't have any of that cool stuff, but make sure you're getting Grimoires for them. It will increase their availability of spells. Now, Meteor Strike 3 and Ward of Pain 3, very good. Came with those, so super solid. I'll run those. You know, you could run some debuffies if you want, but I don't know. I don't find it really useful. I mean, I guess if you really want to fill in your slots, eventually you will get some Grimoires, like I said, down in the shops, and you can find some possibly from drops from enemies. But until you get those, you know, I guess just run whatever. I guess you could run, I mean, you can use any kind of magic, as you can see here. So you could, you know, try to exploit weaknesses of enemy types and stuff until you get that option. But that's kind of the strengths of the Necromancer, is the Grimoire and the unique spells they get access to. The Lich gets a lot of those too. So they both kind of go hand in hand, kind of one in the same class. I think the Necromancer is a very solid class. Has a lot of options. Definitely plays different. Gives you a lot more access to spells that you wouldn't normally have access to on any other class. So it makes them feel kind of fresh and new. You know, a lot of the casters kind of use the same spells. You're like, okay, I can use this on these 5 guys. Where the Necromancer feels a little fresh, a little new, and it's definitely fun to get. So hopefully you guys got a little bit better of understanding of it. If you have any questions or comments on the Necromancer, please let me know down below. As always, any questions or comments in general, feel free to drop them. You know me, I love chatting with you guys and try to respond and reply to every comment. So hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, later guys. Peace. Have a good one.